Spoilers. I just want to put a spoiler warning here just because we're not going to intentionally ruin anything from Coming to America, but in the course of conversation, things come out, so ye be warned.
Shut up! You don't think Ryan is famous?
Cousin Ryan.
You gotta...
Hey, what's up, YouTube friends and family? It's Cousin Ryan, and back with a vengeance, El Compa.
By popular demand.
By popular demand, or unpopular demand. I'm not sure which one it is yet. Big Eddie Murphy fans, correct?
Absolutely.
And I know we're a couple, weeks late now, getting to this little review, but we wanted to talk about Coming to America because I think we're both fans of the original and we have some thoughts.
Huge fans.
El Compa, would you like to go ahead? And
I think as a big fan of the original version, Coming to America, I had high expectations of this movie, and I think what ended up occurring is that I forgot that it took me like 3 or 4 times to watch the original to really get into
to appreciate it?
To appreciate the humor.
Okay.
So I've seen it once. I found it very entertaining. I thought there was some standout performances. I still need to see it a couple more times.
Who would you say was the most standout performance?
For me, I mean, I think Prince Hakim's son played a good role.
He was good. He was good.
But I think for me, standout performance, even though it was brief, but Tracy Morgan.
Oh, okay.
Tracy Morgan was my standout performance of the whole picture. I mean, maybe you can add Wesley Snipes.
In my just because you brought up Wesley Snipes, I thought he was great, except his character to me was a little too out there for this movie. It just didn't feel like it fit. I didn't think his character fit with the tone of the humor of Coming to America too.
Yeah, I would agree. I think because that was the brother of the original lady that Prince Hakim was supposed to get married to, the one that barked, right? So I think that's how kind of they meshed it in there.
Which was a great callback to the original movie.
Yeah.
Let me give you my experience with the original Coming to America. I was only like 7 when that movie came out, and my mom was like, And I remember a friend of mine who was the same age as me, his mom let him watch it, and I remember it was a bit of a bone of contention of like, if he can watch it, how come I can't? I get why now, seeing it as an adult, why my mom wouldn't let me watch it, but and when we talk about standout performances, from the first one to this one, I just, for me, feel like Arsenio Hall is completely an underrated talent. I don't think we see Arsenio Hall enough. I don't think he's appreciated enough. I think Arsenio Hall's brilliant, man.
Yeah, I mean, I would add to that. I think we just see Arsenio Hall as a talk show host, Arsenio Hall. And, and not really appreciate kind of, the uniqueness that he brings to all his characters. I mean, yeah, we talk about Eddie Murphy and all his characters, but even, Arsenio Hall's characters are characters that just, you don't forget. And so the way he presents those characters with such humor, I think, is something that, and like all comedians, right? They dig into something that they remember of their youth, and so I think that's where he comes from. And so, no, absolutely, I think very underrated as a comedian, I think, and even as a comedic actor.
And I think I'd mentioned to you before we started filming this, I liked Leslie Jones in this movie, and I'm not a huge fan of Leslie Jones personally, but she is funny. She is talented. I mean, she does bring a lot of talent to the table, and I thought her character is over the top as she was. She did a really good job too.
Well, just the mindset of having those 3 characters, right? The Prince Hakim's son, Leslie Jones's character Tracy Morgan about being from Queens, right? That style, that Queens attitude. I thought that was something that they definitely wanted to play on, especially as it kind of contradicted the more, you know, I don't want to say pompous, but just the what would you call it? The monarchy type of an environment that they were coming from.
And so getting back to expectations for this movie, I had high hopes, but low expectations. And I thought the story was good. I don't have any complaints. Maybe it could have been better, maybe it could have been funnier, but for me, the enjoyment of this was seeing all these talented actors back together again and interacting, you know, like they did in the first film, and just kind of, to me, it's always fun to see these sequels decades later, to see where these characters are at in their life. To me, that's the fun. I prefer these sequels far over complete remakes. Like if they did a Coming to America remake, I don't know if I could buy it, man.
No, I agree with you. The ensemble was part of the buy-in for me. Also, along with that, you're right. I was anticipating it, but I didn't have high expectations because, again, even the original, even as an Eddie Murphy fan, you know, if you look at Eddie Murphy movies from The Nutty Professor to Norbit, one of my all-time favorites.
Oh, God, that's a terrible movie,
Norbit is one of my favorite
terrible.
Eddie Murphy movies. I mean, we can go back 48 Hours, Trading Places,
Beverly Hills Cop,
The Golden Child. Norbit ranks up there with one of my favorite movies.
God, you're losing some street cred.
No, absolutely not.
Man.
Norbit and Respucia, super funny. Respucia's bilingual on there, so you know I have mad props for Eddie Murphy and Respucia. But the gist of this whole Eddie Murphy genre to me is just the number of characters that he plays. I mean, and even Arsenio, you know,
right, Randy Watson.
Sexual Chocolate. Come on now, how could you not like that? I mean, it was "We Are Family," the song he sang this time instead of Whitney Houston, but still. The Barbers, you know, those guys can have their own movie.
Yeah.
That's how good they are.
But you know what? I'm gonna back that up though, because one of my favorite scenes in all of Eddie Murphy's movies is the dinner table in Nutty Professor when he plays everybody but the kid. I thought that was brilliant, and you would think, oh man, they could have their own movie, and they did, and it was terrible.
Oh, you mean with the Clumps?
With the Clumps.
Yeah.
You know,
good point.
And I think. I can't remember if Eddie Murphy's though. I think Eddie Murphy said it at one point. Comedy should leave you wanting more.
True.
And you know what? I think in the case of those barbershop characters, I think it's good to leave us wanting more. You know, leave them where they're at.
You know what I noticed in those barbershop characters? Was it just me? And I'm thinking back, and not only to this one, but the first one. But the Arsenio Hall character is always eating something.
I didn't notice that. I didn't notice.
Even when at the end, and I hope I'm not ruining it for everybody, you know, at the end of Coming to America, he has a plate and he's eating and he's doing the same thing in the barbershop, and I think he did it the same thing in the first one. But, but anyways, just something to look over again when you see it again.
So speaking of favorite Eddie Murphy movies, I mean, Beverly Hills Cop is always going to be one of my all-time favorite movies.
What is your favorite? What would you say is
Eddie
your
Murphy? One? See, and that's tough. Are we going to go where he's the sole star?
I say you go. Eddie Murphy is in the movie.
That's it.
That's it. What would it be?
Oh man. Well, I love Beverly Hills Cop. I really do. I love Beverly Hills Cop. Love Coming to America.
The original or?
The original, the first one.
Gotcha.
I mean, I enjoyed them all. I even thought 3 was better than a lot of people thought. I enjoyed the plot from 3. Harlem Nights. Harlem Nights is one of my all-time favorite movies, man.
My pinky toe.
My pinky toe. You know, and you got Richard Pryor, Red Fox, Della Reese, Arsenio Hall. I mean, everybody's in that film. I like that one, and I also like Life with Eddie Murphy and Martin Lawrence. I think that is what, I mean, and that's another of Bernie Mac. You've got, you know, Martin Lawrence, Eddie Murphy. It's just, the cast is phenomenal in that as well. And I'm going to argue that that was Eddie's last funny movie.
You know, I have to admit, I haven't seen Life.
Oh, I'll bring it. I've got
Life.
it on DVD.
But
you need to see it.
Going back to Harlem Nights, I was going to say 48 Hours was my all-time favorite.
Okay.
And again, it's a young Eddie Murphy, Nick Nolte, classic, filmed in the city. But you're right, I forgot about Harlem Nights.
Oh, Harlem Nights.
Harlem Nights is one of my all-time favorites.
So many quotable. Nothing we want to quote here on the channel because we try to keep this family-oriented. But
well, again,
there is some great one-liners in that movie, and just the interaction.
Red Fox at one of his last movies.
Yeah.
I don't think it might have been his last movie.
Last big movie.
Yeah, Richard Pryor before he passed away.
Yeah.
Eddie Murphy, Arsenio Hall. I mean, yeah.
All at the height of their career, man. Like, no.
For those of you young folks that don't know Red Fox, Google him.
Yeah, Sanford and
Son. Oh, the best.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, absolutely. Heart of Nights, and again, just the plot, set in the could it be like the early late
30s?
Yeah, late 20s, early 30s.
Yeah. In Harlem.
Yeah, I would say, I would agree with you that would probably be definitely.
So circling back to this Coming to America sequel, I thought Eddie was great in it, but he wasn't particularly funny.
Correct. And I think that was kind of on purpose, though.
Oh yeah, no, I think it fit. It fit the story. It fit, you know, what was going on. I just want to laugh with Eddie Murphy again, though, man. That dude's so funny, so talented. I would love, and he has even mentioned doing another Beverly Hills Cop because he's not happy with how 3 turned out, and he doesn't want to leave it where it's at.
Neither am I. But listen, but I think about it though too. You know, when you say Eddie Murphy, what he brings, I mean, Eddie Murphy wasn't even, his character in Harlem Nights wasn't that funny either.
That's true.
It was everybody else. It was Della Reese.
That's true.
Red Fox, Arsenio Hall.
Right.
I mean, if you really look at it,
I wouldn't even say Richard Pryor was particularly funny in that film.
Not at all.
But they played really good characters, though.
Yeah, I mean, I think they just kind of lead the ensemble.
Yeah.
And have the, you know, the other comedians, actors, actresses kind of.
Will you watch Life? I really want you to see Life.
Yeah, and I'm a big fan of Bernie Mac. So. Yeah. As well,
he's more of a supporting character in it, but the focus is on Eddie Murphy and Martin Lawrence, their characters. And
yeah, no, I think it'd be interesting because they did talk to Eddie Murphy about the possibility of a Coming to America 3.
Really?
Yeah, and he said right now he's not thinking about it, and it took him a long time to do this one.
Yeah.
Just because it had such a cult following.
Well, I think you got to have the right story. I mean, that's what I feel like delayed the third Bill and Ted for so long, was just not having a story worth telling.
Well, you heard of the original story that they wanted to put out, right?
For Coming to America, for Bill and Ted?
Coming to America 2.
No.
The original story was supposed to be Tracy Morgan was going to be his son. But Arsenio told him, how can you have Tracy Morgan be your son when you guys are almost the same age? Yeah. He goes, what are you going to do in Coming to America 3? Have Morgan Freeman be your son? Yeah. You know? So that was the original, but obviously they thought better, which was great, and did a better job of hiring a much younger actor, comedian for that role. Okay.
And I'm sorry, I forget the actor's name, but I thought he played a great part. I mean, he really did well as far as being a believable, you know, kid from Queens, and then
we got to give us a shout out to Eddie Murphy's daughter, who played.
I didn't know his daughter.
Whoa, you didn't know?
Whoa, this is knowledge, man.
I'm dropping one on you right here.
Knowledge
live. I'm dropping that. Yeah. The second daughter, the daughter with the glasses.
Are you serious?
That's Eddie Murphy's.
You know what's crazy about her?
Daughter.
Is I saw her and I'm like, I recognize her from somewhere, and I just real quick looked up her filmography and didn't even put 2 and 2 together, man.
Yep,
wow,
that's his daughter.
Okay. Oh well, that's cool.
He's got like 10 kids.
He's got a lot of kids, man.
Yeah.
If you guys haven't seen his appearance on Comedians in Cars Getting Coffee with Jerry Seinfeld, highly recommend it.
And
what made me think of that, just real quick, is that he talks about his kids and when they leave home and going in and crying like a baby because, you know, he's connected to his kids.
And I recommend his last performance on Saturday Night Live a year and a half ago, 2 years ago.
Yeah.
Where you had what I would consider my Mount Rushmore of comedians: Eddie Murphy, Chris Rock, Tracy Morgan, and Dave Chappelle.
Oh, yeah.
Right there.
Yeah.
He's the GOAT. Chappelle's the GOAT.
Ooh, I don't know if I can take the GOAT away from Eddie Murphy, man.
Oh, well, but again, when I'm talking Chappelle, though, I'm talking stand-up. Right.
Okay.
And the consistency of stand-up.
Okay.
Because Dave Chappelle's not about the movies.
But did you see his most recent thing on Netflix?
Chappelle's?
Yeah. I wasn't impressed.
Come
man.
on. But that was more of a. But that's what makes him so great. That was more of a political statement.
Yeah, I guess.
I mean, because think about it. Eddie Murphy really only had 2 concert
Raw and
movies.
Delirious.
Phenomenal.
Stand-up.
Yeah. Phenomenal.
Yeah.
That's the blueprint for what everybody followed.
Right.
Oh,
and you had said something before too about the mic drop. Speaking of blueprint.
Oh yeah. So Eddie Murphy said that Randy Watson from Central Chocolate did the mic drop in Coming to America, the original.
Yeah.
And that's the very first mic drop ever.
That could be because
because there's nothing before that.
No.
Nobody knew anything about a mic drop.
Huh. All right. Anything else?
They played so beautiful, don't you agree?
Yeah.
Central Chocolate. No.
Beautiful audience. Give yourself a round of applause. Yeah. All right.
Listen.
Hey man, I appreciate you driving around with me and talking about
this.
This is important.
This is talking movies in cars.
Cars and movies without coffee.
There you go.
Yeah. All right.
Hey.
Thank you guys. Hey, if you have any other thoughts on Coming to America or Eddie Murphy's films, if you have a favorite Eddie Murphy film, I would love to hear it down in the comments.
Make sure you subscribe. Underneath, hit the bell.
There you go.
For alerts.
And a like for El Compa here.
And a thumbs up. That'd be great. Just so you can show this guy to put me on more often.
Yeah, we need El Compa. We need to go get the chicken sandwich from Chick-fil-A.
You know, McDonald's got a new chicken sandwich too.
Man, why are you doing this?
I'm just saying.
Yeah.
If we're gonna go chicken sandwich, we gotta go across the board.
Right. Hey, and I'm gonna put this at the beginning of the video. Spoilers. I just want to put a spoiler warning here just because we're not going to intentionally ruin anything from Coming to America, but in the course of conversation, things come out, so ye be warned.
So be it.
That's it. All right. Thanks for hanging out. We'll talk to you guys soon. Be excellent to each other.
Peace.
You know, say it's cousin Ryan on the Hollywood Boulevard. You know, say he bigger than any superstar. All of us spit you some real dope bar. Some them sweeter than any chocolate bar. Boom! Hey.